Find the point slope equation of the line having the given slope and containing the given point. So all our situations so far were given us the slope, or we were asked to determine the slope, and we were given the y-intercept. Every time we have the slope and the y-intercept, that's an easy situation. We just put in the equation slope-intercept form, and we're done. So we did this way, and we also did this way. In the last section in 4.5, we are going to focus on the last equation that we haven't talked about. I mentioned it, but we haven't used it yet, which is we are given 2 points, we can find the slope, and we will be using the y minus y1 equals the slope times x minus x1, because we are not given 0, b. This is not given. When 0, b is not given, do not spend time on this. There is no need. We have another equation to use. So we will be given the slope, or we will find the slope, and we will be given a point. And I will be using the point here, and the slope here. And I will still be able to solve for y and present it in this format where I can determine the slope, the y-intercept if I want to. Also, the other thing that I want to mention is there is something called parallel lines. 2 lines are parallel if the slope of the first line and the slope of the second one are the same, and m sub 1 and m sub 2, they are equal. If they are equal, the 2 lines are parallel. Parallel lines, they must have the same slope. We also have something called perpendicular lines. Two lines are perpendicular if they form 4 90-degree angles. Perpendicular. Two lines are perpendicular if they form 4 90-degree angles, and there is a relationship, a specific relationship between their slopes, and it's not this one. So if this line has slope m sub 1, and if this line has slope m sub 2, the relationship between the 2 slopes is the following one. You either say, which I don't like to say, because there is an easier way, that's all. One slope is the negative multiplicative inverse of the other slope, but since this is a proportion, I'd rather cross multiply and say simply m1 times m2 equals -1. Why bother with the slope of one is the negative multiplicative inverse of the other? No. The slope is -1. The product is -1. So much easier. Nothing wrong with this. Nothing wrong with this. They're exactly the same. Good. So now let's practice. So they're giving us the slope, which is -9 in this problem. So problem 1 in 4.5. So m equals -9 and 9, 1. And whatever they want, we'll figure it out in a minute. So I cannot use y equals mx plus b because b comes from a point that is 0, a number. I don't have that. This is not 0, a number. So the y-intercept is not given to us. I will not use this. But I can use y minus y1 equals the slope times x minus x1. Because that's easy. I have the slope, which is negative 9. I have the point, which is x1 comma y1. 9 goes under x1, and 1 goes under y1. So this is what I will enter first. But eventually I have to solve for y, which means I have y minus 1 equals negative 9, x minus 9. I will have to distribute negative 9x plus 81. And then I have to bring the positive 1. It was negative on one side. I move it to the other, and I add 1. And this is the final form. Y equals negative 9x plus 82. The slope is indeed the same, but now I am also capable of determining the y-intercept as an ordered pair. What is the y-intercept?
82 or 082.
0.82. Any questions on this problem? Any questions on this problem? Okay, moving on. So here I would first enter 1, and then negative 9, and then 9 here. And I'm sure, or maybe not, they will not ask us to solve for y. Okay, that's a mistake. We should always solve for y. Slope of this and passing through this. Okay, and now they want it in point slope form. Okay, I just want to see, okay, never mind. So let's work on problem 2. So 2 on 4.5. So we have the slope, which is 6, and the point negative 3 comma 1. So let's work individually, please, and determine the equation of the line solved for y, of course. So the slope is 6. The point given to us is negative 3 comma 1. And again, for those of you who came in late after I said that, our next test is next Tuesday, the 10th, so a week from today. If you're not registered for the test, you may have difficulties at this point. If you do not complete the work by Monday night, as you know, you do not meet the minimum requirements to take test 2 on Tuesday. I'm very worried because, as I said, 9 of you have not done anything in Module 3 and nothing in Module 4. Some of you completed Module 3, but not Module 4. And several others are doing very well, are keeping up with the work. You're doing you're making your life more difficult by not working on the topics from class to class. Can anyone give us the intermediate step, the first step here, if you have it? If not, I'll keep quiet so you can work on it.
Y minus 1 equals 6 times x plus 3.
Excellent. This is indeed the intermediate step. Thank you. We still have to solve for y.
Times 6 by x and 3, and you get y minus 1 equals 6x and plus 18.
Excellent. And then final step. Very good. Excellent.
You add the 1.
Exactly. Exactly. Can anyone now identify the y-intercept? Because now we have it.
0.19.
That's it. Good. Graph the line that contains this point and has this slope. Find the point slope form of the equation. So if you want to graph it, there is no problem here. So you will just simply, so we have a point 3, 5, and this is problem 3 on 4.5, and they're telling us that the slope is 3. We don't have to determine the equation because we already know how to, but if you want to practice, we can. But I'd like to graph this equation. So they are given us 3, 5. So this is 3, 5. Oh, no.
Done that a few times.
Okay. So 3, 5 is this point. And they are telling us that the slope is 3. So you know that because the slope is positive, make sure that the graph will look something like this, not like this. So careful. So from this point, we have to go with a rise of 3 and a run of 1, because it's 3 or 3 over 1, as Glenn said earlier. So this is the correct line. So I plotted 3, 5, and then I created another point by going up 3 and 1 to the right. Is this okay for everyone? Okay. Should I wait for you to determine the equation so we can put it in? Let's determine the equation as well. So the point is 3, 5, and the slope is 3.
You want the point slope form or the other one?
Always to solve for y.
Okay.
Always the slope of y-intercept. Bobby, Jocelyn, are you working on this problem? Brandon? Okay. Brandon, are you working on this problem? Okay. Daniel, Mortez, Adam, are you working on this problem?
Yep.
Okay. Do we have an answer for y equals?
Yes.
So y equals?
3x minus 4.
Can anyone give us now the y-intercept?
0 minus 4.
Good. Did anyone else get this answer? Is Matt correct?
Yes, same answer.
Okay, perfect. Good. So then I'll trust that 3x minus 4 is the correct answer. Uh-oh. So it means that they want y equals. How do I put the equal symbol? Okay, got it. 3x minus 4.
Oh, they want point slope.
Oh, point slope form. Yes, they do want the point slope form. Okay,
Okay.
well, too late.
I got y equals 3x plus 14.
Let's take a look. Anything is possible. So let's although it says already it was correct. But anyway, so we have y minus y1 equals the slope times x minus x1. So x1 is 3, y1 is 5, and the slope is 3. So I have y minus 5 equals 3, x minus 3. So this is what we should have entered because they wanted a point slope form. Good. Now I distribute 3x minus 9 and plus 5, which is correct. Y equals 3x minus 4. Good. So they wanted this and then they want this. So we already jumped into the last one, which is fine. No worries. Good. Good. The same problem. The same problem. Graph the line that contains the point 3, 4 and has an undefined slope. So I plot this point 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So at the intersection of x equals 3 and y equals 4. And they want us to graph. I plotted the point, but now they want us to graph the equation of the line that has an undefined slope and passes through this point. So graph it and also identify the equation. So what type of line will this be?
Vertical.
Yes, it will be a vertical line because the slope is undefined. And what is its equation?
X equals 3.
Indeed, x equals 3. Any questions? Anybody? Any questions? Okay. Okay. Can anyone identify the slope in this equation?
It's 5/9.
Indeed, the slope is 5/9. Can anyone identify the point that was used here? Tavi, can you identify the slope for us? Tavi, can you identify the point for us?
You said the slope?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean the slope. We already have the slope. Sorry, I meant the point.
The point. Let me do the math real quick. I was already doing it at first.
Can anyone give us the point that was used?
13/3.
The point that was used in this equation.
Zero.
The point that was used. Please. So this is indeed 5/9. That's correct. Now they want
12 and 11.
12, 11. Type an ordered pair. So I have to put parentheses. I have to put 12 and comma 11. Correct. That is the point that was used in this equation. Is this okay with everyone? Yes? Okay, let's do one more. So let's also work on number 9. On number 8, sorry. So we're working on number 8 and 4.5. And we have y plus 2 equals negative 4x minus 6. So they're giving us this equation, and they're asking us two things: to identify the slope and to identify the x1 comma y1 that was used to determine this equation.
Yep.
So the slope,
Negative 4.
perfect. And the point that was used. And let me refresh your memory. Y minus y1 equals the slope times x minus x1.
Negative 6.
Careful, careful.
Oh, right. 6.
Good.
6.
-2.
Negative 2. Very good. Everyone understands this, please? Any questions? Any questions?